I am thrilled to be standing here tonight with the knowledge that Julian Assange is free. He is safe, and he is back where he belongs with his family. And that was a cracker of a photo, Dave. The saga against the WikiLeaks publisher has exposed the true dangers to media freedom around the world, particularly after the US refused to drop espionage charges against him. Recent events in the US should be sounding alarm bells in our industry. The physical threats against journalists by the President-elect and the way he and his supporters are talking about punishing news organisations is alarming, to say the least. We cannot accept claims that these are jokes. We cannot assume we are safe from such political extremism here. The US experience shows how our roles as journalists are being undercut, undermined and underappreciated by vast numbers of citizens who prefer seemingly unproven, untested policies and slogans, no matter how unbelievable they might be. But we must acknowledge our actions in eroding trust with the public when clicks and what's trending online dictate news priorities. A series of reviews and reports in Australia this year have shown racism, sexism and other discriminatory practices are rife in our major newsrooms. Toxic newsrooms, misogynistic behaviour, belittling of the perspectives of diverse staff and underpaid, insecure work hardly make ideal environments for excellence in journalism. So instead of seeking to blame and punish journalists, we should be looking at the bad business models and exploitative practices of media organisations. The challenges facing journalists working within these outlets are a symptom of what's wrong in our industry, not the cause. Ethical public interest journalism is severely compromised without safe and secure workplaces. That's why MEAA's Journalist Code of Ethics is so important to the work that we're all doing. The code turned 80 this year, quite the milestone in an industry where disruption prevails. It calls for fairness, for honesty, for independence and respect for the rights of others. We don't need more regulation and more codes, we need a simpler system. It's already an opaque maze of rules that fails to serve the public. Adding more layers and a system dictated by those who don't understand modern day journalism and the way the gig economy has forever changed how we do journalism is not the way to a sustainable industry. The regimes across the world where governments or their proxies dictate who can be a journalist and who cannot are not to be admired or copied. Journalists are the rightful protectors of journalism. It's not up to governments or politicians, bureaucrats, PR lobbyists, lawyers or other special interest groups who have little experience of the current news ecosphere to be making these decisions. Now is not the time for the preemptive buckle. Now is not the time to go softly, softly. Now is the time to stand together, to hold our nerve, to push back on the inevitable attacks on the news media, to actually hold the powerful to account, to fight for the public's right to know. It will be uncomfortable. It will be hard, but that's the job.